episode 5, October 6th edition of Tiger Talk. Tiger Talk is our weekly Hattiesburg Tigers coaches show, live from Walk-On's Bistro and Bar here in Hattiesburg. And I'm Charlie Rogers. I've got Coach Vance with me tonight. We're going to recap Tigers' first region loss to Pascagoula Panthers and look ahead to this week's game at Picayune. We're also going to have special guest tonight, Tiger PA announcer and super fan, Mike Peterson. So we're going to have him. We're going to talk to him about everything going on that he's been a part of with the Hattiesburg Tigers athletics in general. It's going to be fun. We're glad to have you tuned in with us. We're glad to have you if you're here with us in the room. They got the windows open tonight. It's kind of nice in here. It's I guess the first time we've had the windows open.
Yeah.
So kind of cool in here at Walk-Ons here in Hattiesburg, and Roe and everybody, her team, taking care of us really well here. And again, happy to be joined by Coach Vance, head football coach and athletics director. Coach Vance, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, man. Glad to be here.
All right, well, give us our weekly update on kind of what's going on with Hattiesburg athletics outside of football.
Well, we'll start volleyball. We're having senior night tonight as we speak. So, our girls are enjoying senior night, and all the festivities go with senior night. We'll play our final game of the season tomorrow night, actually. That game was originally scheduled for Thursday, but was pushed up to tomorrow night against a crosstown rival here in Oak Grove. So tomorrow will be our last night for volleyball. Unfortunately, we didn't make the postseason this year, but our girls, got better each and every week. So super proud of our young ladies, and our coaches did an outstanding job given all the circumstances and situation this year. Being able to put a team on the court and watching them go out there and compete each and every week and have an opportunity just to play. So
yeah, we were talking to Ty Vance the other night about the volleyball team, and it's kind of a rebuilding time right now for them, and a lot of young players. And
I think we have 5 seniors this year, so want to definitely wish them the best moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Middle school football didn't get to play this week, so I hope they'll be back in action soon. And across the country, they're still running. That'll wrap up pretty soon. And of course, football. We got a game coming up this week against Picayune, and starting Monday, we kick off our winter sports season. So looking forward to our winter sports getting kicked off.
Winter sports consist of?
You would ask me, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But definitely basketball, powerlifting, bowling, and archery.
Soccer.
And soccer. Yeah, soccer's the other one. Archery. Soccer. Yeah.
Downhill skiing.
No downhill skiing.
Bobsledding.
Nah, none of that.
Okay.
No hills. And not enough snow in South Mississippi.
That's disappointing. No hockey team.
Nope.
That's disappointing. Maybe we'll work on that.
Water polo either.
Yeah, no water polo either. We're going to work on all that. If you want to downhill ski, bobsled, or play hockey, let Coach Vance know. We'll get that going.
Please let me know.
How's practice been this week, Coach?
Been good. Just been enjoying it, man. Enjoying the guys, having a good week of practice, and just bouncing back, trying to get better this week.
Kind of a tale of two halves there. Pascagoula lost 44-20. That drops us to 1-1 in the region. We led 20-14 after 3 quarters. Gave up some unanswered points there in the fourth. Just kind of couldn't hold it together. What are your kind of overall thoughts on the game?
Just thought that turnovers were the story of the game. We just had way too many turnovers. Kind of a eerie feeling there. The opening kickoff, we kind of bobble it. We do recover it, but just like, wow, I hope that's not the story of the night. And unfortunately for us, it was. So I think we turned over 7 times possibly. So just we turned over 7 times, don't have much of a chance to win a ball game. But defensively, I thought those guys continued to play well, and I gave up a few plays here and there, but for the overall, I thought defense played well. Special teams, I thought they were able to come up with some plays and look pretty good in some areas, and but still work in progress, man. Still work in progress. We got to get some guys back healthy, get them going, and get ready to win a game this week. So the goal last week was to go 1-0, and we didn't achieve that. So this week we bounced back. Hey, the goal is still to go 1-0 this week.
Saw a new wrinkle in special teams coming out of halftime. We saw kind of a designed onside kick, a little bit of a different style than the sky kick. Different kicker and everything kind of went in there.
I thought we saw some on film that we could exploit, and I think we went for it twice, got one of them. And so 50% on onside kicks is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good investment in your money, if you would. So, but we're able to get one of them, and so we're always going to look on special teams, see if we can find anything that we think we can take advantage of, and that onside kick was one of them. So
special teams has been big for you all season, really. I mean, it's in kind of all aspects of the game. It's been in all aspects of special teams anyway. It's been big for you with with punt coverage and the punter and then your onside kicks and just kickoff team in general.
Yeah, and we had a long kickoff return.
Yep.
You know, back down to the
ran
5-6 yard
ran out of gas.
Yeah,
Jerome and I thought he was
gone.
His
ankle counter, gave
Yeah.
out. He's been having some ankle issues, but great return right there. Kickoff return team did a great job. No penalties on that. That's the first thing we always look back for. Do we have any flags on the field? And in high school football, it's uncommon not to have a flag on the field for a kickoff or a punt return. So, but kudos to those guys on that team.
Right now, it's uncommon to not have a flag on the field after any play, really. I mean, it's been rough. It's been really rough. I heard some stories, too, about the Oak Grove Pedal game that officiating in that one was really rough, too. And some of my friends were talking about that, and they were talking about, man, it was one – they were calling them for this or calling them for that. A certain team. I was like, look, I've seen enough high school football the last few years. It's not one-sided. It's not for one team. It's just not that good.
It's not very good. You've got a lot of veteran officials. I don't want to say old, but a lot of veteran officials that opted out this year due to COVID. You've got some young officials that they're just that. They're young and inexperienced, and sometimes they don't see what they think they see, and sometimes they don't call what they see. And so it's just part of it, man. Nobody's perfect, so, we try not to give them too hard of a time, but, at the same time, I always try to remind them, man, we worked about 75, 80 hours this week getting ready to try to play a football game and win a football game, and I don't need you to come out here in 2.5, 3 hours and have more to do with the outcome than we do. So.
Yep, right. I see J.J. Johnson watching us, Miss Jennifer Morgan, the cheerleader sponsor, watching us. So let us know if you're watching. Comment, ask questions, talk to us.
You got to get Miss Morgan on here.
I will. I'm gonna get her on. We had her on last year and had several of the cheerleaders on, and that was great. That was one of our most watched episodes. So we're definitely going to get her on there. And if Miss Morgan, you're watching, I see that you're watching. Let me know a date that works that you can get some of your girls up here, and we'll definitely do that. They're much prettier than Coach Vance and I, so we'll get them on here, and we'll have a good time with that, just like we did last season. On the defensive side, you said I thought they played pretty well, put in some tough spots there toward the end of the game with the turnovers, like you said. Gave up 213 yards, only 5 passing yards from what I could tell. And, we talked last week about the key to this game was going to be containing 10. They wanted to spread you out. They wanted to run 10, the quarterback. How did you think that they did at achieving that?
I thought, for the most part, we did a pretty good job of keeping him in check. But, there were some things that, we gave up that we wish we hadn't. But he's a really good football player. And I thought that watching film, and obviously after having played him, I think he's a really good football player. So, guys like that, man, and I think he's young. I think he's just a sophomore maybe. But guys like that are special. And, you're not going to completely stop guys like that. Just hope to try to contain them and slow them down enough and keep them off the field enough to not let them win the game for their teams.
Yeah, he is a sophomore, so we'll have to deal with him for a couple more years if they stay in 5A. Yeah. So will they realign after this year, right?
Yeah. Reclassification numbers should be going in as we speak, 1st October when they normally go in. So, we'll see who falls to 5A and who moves up to 6A and all that. So
yeah, but if they stay, we'll have to deal with him for another couple of years. I thought another guy that was pretty strong, and you mentioned him kind of like a little bowling ball, was 32, the running back. I thought that he did a pretty good job as well.
He did. I thought he ran hard and broke some tackles and got some yards after contact. So. But those two guys are really good players.
He seemed to get a little stronger as the game went on, and that's kind of what those pound you backs do. They kind of wear you down, but he seemed to do that, get a little stronger as the game went on. No Jaquez Andrews this week. I know he was available, but I guess we didn't. I guess it was one of those things where, hey, if we got to have you. But I thought Ellis Brown actually did a pretty good job. 15 carries, 67 yards. That's 4.5 per carry. So that's not
Ellis
bad.
always runs hard when he gets the ball. He practices hard, and I tell him every day, man, you practice hard, and I can't complain about the way you practice. He's been willing to do anything we ask him to do, and so he's getting better and better each week. So, proud of the effort he gave Friday night.
Yeah. I thought he did a good job. We talked to his mom. Miss Morgan says, "You tell us the date and time, we'll be there." So we're gonna line that up. We're gonna get them on here and have a good time with them. Just kind of, we talked about Ellis and we talked about some of the turnovers, that kind of thing. Just give me your overall thoughts on the offense. We talked about the defense, just kind of how the offense functioned and kind of what you saw that you liked and didn't like out of it.
I thought we did some things well. I always tell people it's never as good as you think, it's never as bad as you think. But I thought we did some things well. I think we're steady getting better running the football. We don't have just that, explosive one guy on offense that, he's going to break it for 80, 85 every time he takes it. So there's going to be games where we're going to have to win ugly, and we talked to our guys about that. And, if we're able to get up 7 to 8, 9, 14 points, great, but we got to be prepared to win ugly. And, that's 18, 19, game, 20 to 18 games or whatever have you. But, but I thought that we did some things well in the running game. Thought we did some things pretty good in the passing game. We had some untimely penalties that, that hurt us and, put us behind the chains. And that's always huge, So you always want to try to stay in front of the sticks. But, some untimely penalties. And, I think those things that just, I call them untimely. They're part of the game. And you're going to get them whether you did them or not sometimes. But, you just got to be able to keep plugging away and overcome those things.
I thought for the most part you did a decent job staying ahead of the chains. We've talked about in a few games kind of getting behind the chains and not being able to catch up. You get into those 2nd and 15, 3rd and 18, those long situations. I felt like overall you guys did kind of a pretty good job of that. And most of that, comes down to your offensive line there on first down, kind of picking up just a few, and I feel like your offensive line has improved as we've gone on. Just talk about those guys a little bit.
Well, they're doing a good job, and we got one 9th grader up there starting, Elijah Baker. He's a 9th grader. He's gonna be a really good player for us. So he's really learning on the job, but he's getting better each and every week. He's getting more of an understanding of what we're trying to do and what his job responsibility is. He actually got it. We move around over the offensive line from center to guard to tackle. So we don't have a lot of depth at that position, so those guys have to be interchangeable. Probably the guy that's a senior up there, the most experienced guy is, I call him Doodle Bob. That's his nickname.
Yeah.
But, Marquand Perkins, he's kind of the quarterback of the offensive line. He does a good job of making sure everybody knows what to do and giving them their assignments and little reminders each and every day. Sometimes I tell man, Coach Bob, you holding up practice, man. We they got to learn. They got to learn. So, but he does an excellent job. Nehemiah Dancer is the other guy up there, and he's doing a great job. Started for us last year at center and guard, so he's doing a great job for us. New guy back to a Trayvon Dixon, where they played last year, back this year, and he's done an outstanding job. So proud of those 4 or 5 guys.
Trayvon plays a little bit on defense too.
He does plays a little bit on defense as well, and Cam Eccles, big number 7, he's a guy that we moved over. We actually stole from the defensive line, thought he could help us a little bit more on the offensive line, so he's still learning. But, I think we're finally going to find the right 5 up there and get that continuity we need and our offensive lines need, and we'll continue to get better.
Well, and that versatility, being able to play multiple positions is important because you don't know who's going to go down. And, we've seen Tomasio up there on the offensive line. So you just don't know who's going to go down, who's not going to have a good game, and you got to be able to move them around.
Yeah, and that's the thing about kids, man. I'll say this, man. Those guys are fighters, and they've been willing to do whatever we ask them to do, and we told them, hey, man, going to have some of y'all going to have to play both ways. And, they hadn't complained one bit. They've done exactly what we've asked them to do to the best of their ability. That's all we can ask of,
Yeah, like I said, I think that the offensive line and defensive line, in the trenches there is kind of the strength of your team right now. Especially on the defensive line. But, if your linemen are the strength of your team, you're generally going to have a pretty decent team. And so I feel like you guys are kind of built around those lines, and they've been doing a pretty good job for you.
Appreciate that.
You talked about not going 1-0. The key being, or the goal being going 1-0 every week. Not able to do that. You fought a 3-2, 1-1 in the region. Just talk about where that record puts you, and then kind of moving forward.
Yeah, definitely disappointed. I'll tell you, no one's more disappointed to me when we don't win games. But definitely, 1-1 now. We just got to try to win out. And that's why I tell our players, hey, we got to try to win the rest of them and make sure that we guarantee ourselves a home game. So. That's kind of where we are. We've got, I think one team in our district's been quarantined, so I think they'll be back in action this week. I think they were out the first 2 weeks.
Long Beach?
I think Long Beach, so they'll be back in action, so they'll be hungry for a win. And so, we're just hoping to, stay healthy, man, and try to go win this week. Yep.
Go 1-0 this week. That's the trick. That's the key, and that's all you really can control, right?
That's it, man.
You control what you can control, and that's what we can do this week. We'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. We'll take about a minute break. We'll come back here. We'll have Tigers PA announcer and super fan. I made up that super fan thing. But Mike is a super fan. I promise you. After this interview,
there's a lot that goes in being a super fan now.
You will understand that. Yeah. And we'll talk to Mike Peterson here in just a few minutes. And you stick with us. We'll be right back.
Bistro & Bar, where every dish starts from scratch. Fresh ingredients bring our food to life. Mouth-watering cuisine, unique flavors. And we're always more than happy to share our Southern charm and culture, a love of life, family, food, friends, fun, and celebrations. Walk-Ons. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana.
All right, welcome back, Tiger fans. I told you it wouldn't be long. That was about a minute of walk-ons ads. And, man, speaking of walk-ons, we got Mike here. And, Mike, before we talk about anything else, I need to know, you've had a couple of these shakes that we've talked about. I need to know about these shakes. Are they up to the build-up? Are they worth the hype?
Best $6 you'll ever spend. They're absolutely outstanding.
We'll take it. I know Mike's had a couple of them, so and I know Coach Vance had one too. So come get these shakes at Walk-Ons, man. But you saw the Walk-Ons ads there. I had to ask Mike because I've seen him get a few of them. But I'm happy to be joined by a Tigers PA announcer, super fan, Mike Peterson. Mike, thanks for coming on, man. You always come to the shows. You're always behind the scenes, but man, we had to get you in front of the camera this week.
Oh, appreciate the invitation. Glad to be here.
Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with Hattiesburg. You went to Hattiesburg High, right?
Went to Hattiesburg High, graduated in 1988.
1988, Mike. Oh man, okay. I'm not even gonna talk about the age, okay? But tell me how you got involved just with Tiger Athletics. I know you got a little bit of a story there. We've talked about it. You've done a game or two with me before, and we've talked about that. But just kind of tell Tiger Nation how you got involved with Tiger Athletics and how you kind of ended up being the PA announcer at the football games.
Well, once I got into about junior high school, became a teenager, the former athletic director from many years ago, Mr. Watkins, was looking for a guy to run the scoreboard at junior high games, make some Christmas money, did stuff like that. So I did that for a long time. Then they asked me to be part of the chain gang crew. So during my high school years, as part of the chain gang crew, I did that for about probably 10 years. And then when our former assistant baseball coach, Robert Worrell, when he retired from the Hattiesburg Public School System, he did the PA at the football games. Well, they offered him the opportunity to continue to do the PA if he wanted to. Well, he wanted to just go into full retirement, so he gave that up. And they asked me, did I want to move from the football field up to the press box? And, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool in the press box when it's hot, and it's dry in the press box when it rains. So I took the advantage of that opportunity, and this is my 15th year to do it.
Absolutely. So that was 2005 when that came about?
2005, yes.
Okay. Man, you've been doing that for a while. And now you do some other things too. Now I know we talked about having you on last week, and you ended up having to do stats at the volleyball game.
Keep the score at the volleyball games. Keep the score at the Hattiesburg High School basketball games, and also run the scoreboard for William Carey basketball.
Oh, really? Okay.
I do.
Okay. See, I didn't even know that. That's news to me. So we talked about some of those duties, and then you're always at away games and at football games and that kind of stuff. Which one's your favorite? What's your favorite sport? Your favorite sport to go to for Hattiesburg High? To do. You got PA at football. That's a loaded question. Yeah. So Coach Vance is sitting over here. So we'll just say for Coach Vance's sake that football is your favorite. But if Coach Vance wasn't listening, tell me what your favorite sport is to kind of go to for Hattiesburg.
I will. Honest to goodness, watching football is my favorite sport. Now, growing up, I didn't want to play football. I was more of a basketball guy when it came to playing a sport. So, but yeah, watching football is the favorite sport, but I really wanted to be a basketball player. Okay,
so you do enjoy doing the scoreboard and doing the stats and that kind of stuff, keeping score at the basketball games.
I do.
Well, I've seen you, Mike, on because I kind of thought you were going to say basketball there. I've seen you on Facebook a few times drain a couple threes. You go out there and you shoot a little bit, right?
I do. I do. I will say, never did make the basketball team at Hattiesburg High, but I will say, I was a great YMCA player. I really was.
Hattiesburg High missed an opportunity right there, didn't they? They had a 3-point maker right here and just completely missed that opportunity. But yeah, I've seen Mike put up some shots now. He can shoot it. So you missed out. Who was the basketball coach then, Mike? You remember?
Basketball coach of my sophomore year was Johnny Hurt, who we put into the Hattiesburg High School Hall of Fame last year, and then Coach Dan Pridgeon was there junior and senior year.
Coach Pridgeon missed out. I guess we're not going to call out Coach Hurt since he's in the Hall of Fame now, but we'll call out Coach Pridgeon. He missed out junior senior year on Mike. So tell me, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. We talked 15 years. You got a favorite memory or two that you can come up with? I know we kind of went down memory lane when we had the jug here a few weeks ago. We talked about some of those jug games and that kind of stuff. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't even prepare you for this. But do you have a memory that comes to mind that from a game, it could be basketball, football, whatever, that really kind of sticks with you?
I would have to say every year that we have won South State in football and made it to the championship game.
Okay.
And that 19-year drought that we had until 2017. 2017 was a great year.
Yes, it was.
That was a very great year. Not only because we made it, but you saw the city of Hattiesburg really come together and get behind the team that year. And I believe every game we played at home was pretty much packed out. So, had great community support in 2017, so that was probably one of the best memories.
Definitely did, and John and I have talked about this too. That was kind of one of those once-in-a-lifetime teams, and with Snoop Connor and Darius Ruffin and all those guys. I'm missing some, but all those guys, and that was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime team. And you're right, that was an exciting year. That was a fun year, and Hattiesburg got behind those guys, and that's kind of what we want Hattiesburg to do now is stay behind them. But they really did. They got behind those guys and went all the way up to Oxford and gave West Point a game.
Played hard, just one of them things. There wasn't nobody in the state going to beat West Point that year. There really wasn't. But
that year or any of the years after that.
That's right. But yeah, that was big in 2017, and it was like Mayor Barker on here last week was talking about that, how much the city of Hattiesburg got behind that team.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we went there. Now, what about one that sticks with you that burns, Mike? One that you kind of wish, other than that state championship game, because that one burns. I mean, we kind of wish we could have finished that one out. But what's one that sticks with you? Maybe a jug game, maybe something that hurt you a little bit.
Don't know what year it was, but it was at Laurel. We was winning like 30, maybe 35-0 or 35-7 at halftime, and wheels just fell off in the second half, and Laurel came back and scored with about 4 seconds to go in the game and beat us, I want to say, 38-35.
Really?
So, yeah, that was hard to take.
Yeah. Was that before Coach Vance's time?
It was.
Okay.
That was. I may have still been in high school that year. It's been a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't blame Coach Vance for that one then. We'll only blame him for the one since he's been here, I guess. Now, we were at Oak Grove a few weeks ago, and Chad comes on. Chad, our sideline reporter, Chad Davis, he comes on the microphone there and says, if Oak Grove breaks one down the sideline here, I think it was at the Oak Grove game, said if Jeff Davis County,
I believe it was.
County. Yep, you're right. It was Jeff Davis County. We were at PRCC, Jeff Davis County, and it was a close game right there at the end. We were trying to hold on to win it, and Chad comes on and says, "Look, I got Mike Peterson down here with me, and he said if anybody breaks it down this right sideline, he's going to trip him." Tell me how that came about, Mike. Did you tell Chad you were going to trip him?
I kind of mentioned it. I said if the running back for Jeff Davis County comes around this right end and has an open hole to the end zone, I said, I'm going to stick my foot out and trip him. I really did say that.
We've seen it happen before in college games and NFL games, but Mike was going to do it. I thought you might just run out there and tackle him, Mike. You looked like you were ready to go.
Maybe so. But
You're not going to deny it anyway.
not going to deny it at all.
Okay, it's a possibility then. Mike may have done that. That's what you get when you're a super fan. You go and you were I saw you on the sideline at Pascagoula. I mean, you don't miss many now, do you?
I don't. Hattiesburg needs your support, and not got anything going on. It's good to get out. Before the game, went to a nice steakhouse, had a great meal. Anytime the Tigers are playing on the road, any opportunity I can be there, I'm going to go.
Absolutely. We got a birthday back here, I think, Mike. You want to go sing?
That's quite all right.
Mike says no singing. I don't want to sing either. Tell me what it's like, Mike, because I assume you didn't have any training. So tell me what it's like to be a PA announcer and kind of what goes into that. Did they just throw you up there and were like, hey, here you go?
Well, I kind of knew just from hearing games at Hattiesburg High, Southern Miss, what you can say, what you can't say. But, I went right into it. Had no problems at all. And it's been fun. But, it takes a little bit of preparation because Coach Vance emails me a game sheet of what you got to do. And one thing or three things I want to make sure I do get right. I want to make sure I get every player's pronunciation right because the parents are going to hear it. And, if you don't say the name right, then you're going to hear it after the game. Another thing is I want to make sure you get the sponsors announced over the PA system. Yeah. That's one thing that I want to make sure that I do at least four times a night, after one time in each quarter, maybe more. And another thing I want to do, I want to get the fans fired up if I can. I don't know if you hear or not. Every time it's third down, it could be 3rd and 20, it could be 3rd and 1. I'm going to say, make some noise, Tiger fans. So that's three of the things I want to do. Make sure I'm prepared, get the pronunciations right, and get the fans fired up.
Yeah, and so you're your own spotter too, right? Like you gotta pick out the numbers, pick out the names, and all that.
I do, and got my binoculars with me. Got the mic. It's like this: got the microphone in one hand, binoculars in another, and following the ball. And it does get a little bit difficult, especially if a team is wearing black jerseys with the black numbers, and they start sweating, and then the numbers just disappear sometimes.
Yeah, we've got our black uniforms with the purple numbers sometimes are difficult to see. And then there are some others. It may have been Jeff Davis County a few weeks ago that their numbers were kind of difficult to see as well. But there are some uniforms that are more difficult than others. And then I've also been up there with you before, Mike, when we were in one press box and you're in the other, obviously. But the windows start fogging up, and it's hard to see then. I know we played Laurel 2-3 years ago at home, and you ended up having to move up to the top up there because you couldn't see out the windows.
I had to move up there to where the coaches are.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I forgot who they was playing, but the visiting team's coaches did not go up there that night. They all stayed on the sideline, so it worked out really well.
Pretty sure it was Laurel. I think it was Laurel we were playing at home. Might have been Petal, but it was it was either first or second game that season, and because our windows were fogging up too, and it was difficult to see. You got Shalonda Hinton on here saying make some noise, Hattiesburg. So she's following along with you, and then Miss Jennifer from Morgan, she wants to hear a touchdown, Hattiesburg. You want to do that for us or not?
Why not?
Do it.
Why not?
Well, let's wait till this last deal, and then we'll hit it. I know you were ready to go right there, but so talking about being a PA announcer, you went up there, you went right into it, and now you can kind of walk around the stadium with that mic, can't you?
I could if I wanted to, but I sit up there the whole time.
I was thinking I had seen you maybe at a scrimmage or something down on the sideline with that mic, but so you like the view from up top with your binoculars and your little setup up there, and that's.
I do like the view from up top because there are some times when I can be like a coach. I can see what's fixing to happen, and there have been times when we've been on offense, and I said, if our quarterback can see where our wide receiver's at, I said, he can hit him right here. And there have been times when we've been on defense when I wanted to call down to Coach Vance and say, look, number 25 for whatever team we're playing is wide open. Get a defensive back over there.
Yeah,
So it's a nice view from the top.
Coach Vance going to have to get you a radio.
I'm going to give him another pair. I'm going to give him extra headset.
He said Coach Vance said he's going to give you a headset.
Okay.
So there you go. You can help him out on the calls. You probably help him out just as much as anybody else. Mike, you've been to enough games and watched enough football that now when you go to an event, do you critique other PA announcers?
I don't.
No.
All PA announcers have their own way of doing it. So, let them do what they want to do.
I critique other radio guys.
Do you now?
No, I say, man, I wish I take notes. I say, man, I wish I could do it like that. So you say, Maypop Robinson on here says you say every first down, you say move the chains. You say that?
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
I do not.
Oh, I think she wants you to. She wants you to say move the chains.
Oh, she wants me to say move the chains.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, she fixed it. She wants you to
We'll see about that.
She wants you to say move the chains.
Can't make no promises.
Mike might get caught up and forget to do that. All right, Mike. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate everything you do for Hattiesburg Athletics. And hit us with a touchdown, Hattiesburg. We're going to go to break right after Mike's touchdown, Hattiesburg, and we'll have Coach Vance back. We'll talk about this game coming up at Picayune. Hit it, Mike.
Touchdown, Hattiesburg!
All right, guys, you know what time it is. We're going to have a good shift. Make some noise! Hoo-wee! Hoo-wee! What do we do? What do we do? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Look for walk-ons near you. And remember, everyone needs a little playing time.
The first time I ever walked into a walk-ons, I looked around and I said, if I were ever to create my own sports bar, it would be just like this. The greatest thing you can do in life is be a part of a team, and that is certainly what we've tried to build here at Walk-Ons. And it's the way that we start our day, it's the way that we end our day, and everything in between.
Walk-ons on 3. 1, 2, 3. Walk-ons!
Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Oh.
All right, we're back here, Tiger Nation, at Walk-Ons Bistro and Bar here with Coach Vance. Coach Vance getting text messages. Oh, yeah, that was Miss Morgan saying that people are posting stuff for Mike to say it. Miss Morgan is who we can thank for the touchdown Hattiesburg, because she's the one that mentioned that on there. So Miss Morgan, we appreciate you watching, and we appreciate you getting Mike to do that, because I would not have thought about it. So I'm glad you did that. And Mary Pop Robinson, Shalonda Hinton, giving us some suggestions on here, make some noise Hattiesburg, and move the chains. So we're going to get Mike to incorporate that into his repertoire of sayings there at the games. And man, we appreciate Mike coming on, and he's always fun, and he loves Hattiesburg High, and he does so much for everybody around there, and we really appreciate him. And we're back here with Coach Vance, and we're ready to move on to this week's game, Coach.
Yeah, the one Mike forgot was make some noise, Tiger fans.
Make some noise, Tiger fans. Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, great job, though.
He wants everybody to make noise and get loud, and he, like he said, he tries to get everybody fired up, and the team needs their support, and we want to get back to that 2017 level where everybody was behind Hattiesburg. And I know this year it's difficult to do with the COVID restrictions and that kind of stuff. So it's tough to have the stands full. I have no doubt that for some of these games, that Laurel game, that the stands would have been slam packed had we been able to do that. So that was just kind of a missed opportunity there. And but we'll get back there. We're getting there, Coach.
Yeah, we will, man. It takes time, and our guys are giving everything. The guys all we can ask, and our coaches work hard, and some of them, I tell them some guys, I apologize to your wives or whatever in advance, because it's some long hours, but we're working hard, the players are working hard, and that's all you can ask. Just continue to work, and let's get better each and every week. That's one thing I always tell our players is, hey, we got to coach better. You guys got to play better. So we're all involved. We want our fans to do their part, and just continue to pull together, and let's get this thing where we all want it to be.
We could go down the road this week, Coach, all the way down to Picayune, take on the Maroon Tide. They're 5-0 coming into this week after winning their second region game over Gaucher in a nail-biter, 47-43. We were kind of watching that score up in the press box.
Yeah, it was interesting. Go back and watch that film. Gaucher's gone all air raid.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I got some stats here in just a minute.
Didn't know that until we watched them on film, and one of my coaches said, Coach, I don't know if you've seen the film or not, but the quarterback had to be like 40 or 50. I said, they didn't throw it that much, did he? When I watched the film, I said, Coach, I think you lied to him. I think he was 48 or 50 because they were throwing it every down. I think they ran it 2 times, I think. But so Gaucher spread them out, went to a lot of wide open type stuff on offense and threw the ball a lot. And, so we put a lot of points on the board. But typical Picayune fashion, they don't really try to stop you. They just try to outscore you.
Yeah. They try to slow the game down and outscore you or speed the game up, I guess. They they go slow with their offense to speed the game up.
Yeah, shorten the game.
Yeah, shorten the game, right. So Picayune has been a pest for us. Has been kind of the pest in the region for us the last several years, even going back to 17 and before that. We beat them, but it's never easy.
No, I don't think anybody that plays Picayune is ever easy. I know I've talked to coaches in different parts of the area that they don't play them anymore. That's the only time you're going to see that style of offense when you play them, and it doesn't do us any good. They're going to run the same stuff defensively, and I think they played Pelto, I want to say several years back, and I think the final score was like 63 to 61 or something, So, but they're definitely unique in what they do, and, they've got a staple of, offense. They really got the blueprint on it, if you ask me, because nobody else does what they do offensively, so.
Right, and we've talked in the past about how, that's what they do from Pee Wee football up. They're running the same plays the same way. So by the time those kids are juniors and seniors, they've been doing that for 10 years.
Yeah, and it's amazing to watch, them do what they do over and over and over again. And, it takes a special group of guys to buy into that and to believe in that and continue to do it. And, Dodd Lee obviously is retired now, and but the guy that was offensive coordinator, he's the head coach now, and they hadn't changed anything offensively. So, they're still rolling.
Well, that was my next question. Cody Stogner now, the new football coach there at Picayune, was the baseball coach, was offensive coordinator for the football team. And my question to you was, has he changed anything?
No,
and you just answered that.
They probably throw it 5 times a game now rather than 3.
Right.
So they may throw it 2 more times a game than normal. But, and the quarterback's an accurate passer, too. So when they do throw it, I think their wideouts realize, we're not going to throw it much, so I got to make the most of it. And they got a couple guys out there receiver that can make some plays for them. But, same typical Picayune offense. They're going to be down here right at you. And, we say, and our coaches always football in the phone booth. They're going to have 22 guys right there you can fit within a phone booth almost. And, that's just what it boils down to is what they do offensively. A lot of people look and say, man, it ought to be easy to stop. They're running the same plays, But, they outnumber you at the point of attack, and you want to always be sound in what you do defensively, and you can't overload one side because they have the ability to run it back to the other side. So,
and they're good at it.
Yeah, they're really good at it. So you have to be sound in what you do defensively, and it boils down to somebody whooping somebody. And we tell our kids that there's nowhere to hide this week when you play this team. It's going to boil down to somebody winning the block, and you may not win them all. You just need to win more than you lose, and it's got to be at the same time. So
this is the game. This is one of the games, but probably the main game that encouraged you to put Jeff Davis County on the schedule.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a very similar offense. And
similar, a lot more misdirection with Jeff Davis, and these guys are more or less power toss, quarterback power toss. We was joking in the office Sunday, you can't play quarterback at Picayune unless you're willing to block. You don't have to. Throwing isn't a requirement to play quarterback at Picayune. You have to be a willing blocker to play quarterback.
Receiver too.
Yes, and receiver, because on their bread and butter play, when they're going to run probably 85% of the time, the quarterback's the lead blocker.
Yeah.
And so how do you account for the quarterback as a runner, as a blocker?
Right.
You don't know which side he's going to. So, but really good at what they do, and they do it well.
Just kind of, I know you've watched some of the film. I'm just looking at stats. The stats I have, looks like they rode number 5, Dorian Robinson, last week. 30 carries, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Kind of what it looked like.
That's
to
riding
me.
Pretty good. 30 carries.
They rode the fire out of him. But how did he look to you on film?
They run several guys back there, but he's definitely probably their best back. They've got 2 or 3 other ones that can go. The quarterback runs it, but he's definitely a guy that they're gonna give the ball to, and he's a bigger back. He's not a small guy. Last year had Cam Thomas, that was a small guy, weighed maybe 155, 160.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
Probably ran a 4.2 40. This guy's a bigger back, and he's more of a bruiser downhill. He's probably not one that's going to break 2 or 3 80-yard runs in a game, run out from you, but he's capable of breaking runs and breaking tackles. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, 30 for 150, that's just pounding you.
Yeah,
that's just pounding you over and over and over again. And like we talked about, that's kind of what 32 was trying to do last week. You know, just give you the power and wear you down. They did let number 6 Isaac Hickman is their quarterback. They did let him throw it a little bit last week. They kind of had to. Got behind, got down, and kind of had to come back. He was 7 for 11, 173 yards.
So 11 times.
Yeah, and that's a
probably
lot.
a record.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's probably a Picayune record. You're right. Dodd Lee was probably cussing. He was probably watching that game cussing.
Yeah, why are we throwing the ball?
Yeah. What is this? What is this offense? 7 of 11 for 173 and 2 touchdowns. What do you see from him on film?
Again, he's an accurate passer. You know, he doesn't throw many bad balls. So that's something that I think they take a lot of pride in. Is, you know, the few times they're going to throw it, chances are they're going to complete them. You know, and it's been games just watching film where guys have great coverage and he puts the ball right where it has to be. So, you know, he's a very capable passer.
Isaac, I have some contacts down there in Picayune. Isaac is one of 9 kids.
Wow.
They have 9 kids. You come from a big family like that, right?
Yeah, I'm one of 13.
13, yeah. You got Isaac beat then. When you see him Saturday or Friday, you need to tell him, hey,
oh, man,
I got more than you.
Yeah, well, I don't have more than him, but I was part of
yeah, right. That's what I meant, yeah.
I
come from a bigger group than you. But, yeah, he's one of 9 kids, so there's 2 more behind him.
Yeah.
But, yes, okay, so we obviously focus on the run mostly against this team. Now, I know you don't want to let them lull you to sleep and pop you over the top. Those are your words. You say that all the time.
Yeah, you never want to get lulled to sleep and
Coach
give up
Vanceism.
Yep, you never want to do that, man. And it's hard, man. It's hard to sit there and watch your team run the football 20 times in a row and not get – I got to get up here and help make a tackle. And then all of a sudden, the one time I think I'm going to make a tackle, boom, ball goes over your head. So our guys have to be really disciplined in secondary and cover who they're supposed to cover or get to the zones they're supposed to get to.
Yeah, and so focus on them. But I feel like, we just talked about in our first segment how defensive line is a strength for your team. And I kind of feel like as long as your linebackers feel and that kind of thing, this is kind of strength on strength here.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely our defensive line, our defensive front's our strength. And obviously their offensive line is their strength. So, we'll see what happens Friday.
You guys will have to play tough. You got to be tough for 4 quarters against Picayune.
There's nowhere to run and hide in this one, man.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be willing to put your pads on somebody and take on blocking the hole. And, again, it's going to boil down to somebody whooping somebody on the football field.
Yeah, so you talked about how Gaucher is kind of going full air raid, and we've got Gaucher coming up on the schedule later, so we'll see more film of them at some point. But I believe you were saying they threw it probably 50 times. I believe they were – well, I think you're right. I believe they were 36 of 48.
Wow.
But I know they threw for 455 yards and 4 touchdowns. 455 in a high school game. That's
a lot of passing yards.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you see that as just them – pounding the pass, or do you see that as Picayune maybe being a little susceptible to the pass?
I think that's what Gaucher. They had a young quarterback last, and I think that's what they've gone to. Just looking at it, and obviously it was hard to watch film on Picayune and not notice what Gaucher was doing.
Yeah.
Like wow, they've really gone because last year they was double wings and trying to run jet sweeps and stuff. So it was definitely a total overhaul for Gaucher, and I think they're just playing to the strength of their athletes. I think they've got some guys that can make some plays in the passing game, and the quarterback's a big old boy, but now he's gone to some camps. Watch Pat Mahomes, I guess, because he's throwing it every kind of way you could throw it, man. I'm like, wow, I ain't seen that cat. He didn't look like that last year, but but I do think that they do give some things in the passing game. Picayune does, and I think Gaucher did a really good job of taking advantage of it.
Is that you think that might be something we can try to attack through the air a little bit?
Well, obviously, we're gonna go. We want to be the type of offense that's gonna take what our defense gives us, and at some point you're gonna have to impose your will upon them, whether it's running the ball or throwing the ball.
Yeah. So we're going to try to get back to 500 in the region, or try to get back over 500 in the region. Sorry, 1-1 right now. Try to get to 2-1, but the key right here is to go 1-0 this week, right?
That's it, man. Just win one football game this week.
Talk about how important that is, just to get back on the winning side of things.
Yeah, I mean it's huge. Again, we're going on the road, second road game in a row, and we got to go on the road and win a football game. But we got to go and we got to play within ourselves. We can't dig holes for ourselves, and again, we got to win on first downs on both sides of the ball. We can't give up 8 yards on first down to the run game with them, and we can't only gain 1 or lose yardage for us. So we got to win first downs. First downs gonna be huge in this game. You know, we tell our kids all week, we got to win the first down battle, offensively and defensively. You know, we got to try to get them to second and long and third and long, and you know, that's where they're most uncomfortable at. You know, we got to try to stay second and short and third and short, you know, where we're more comfortable at. So, you know, those are the keys for us as coaches to try to figure out how do we do that. You know, how do we make sure that we'll stay out of second and long and third and long? How can we put them in second and long and third and long? And, you know, our coaches do a good job of game planning and trying to figure out what we can do, you know. And I tell people all the time, you know, believe it or not, it doesn't always work, you know. And you know, people ask, you know, why'd you call that play? I called it play because I thought it was going to work.
Yeah,
know?
right,
You know, why'd you call that defense? We called it because we thought it was going to work. It looked good in practice, you know, so we thought it would work. But, you know, sometimes it didn't work like that on the field. So
the other team's trying, too.
Yeah, they
know,
ain't just over there.
They got to play call, too.
Yeah,
you know?
they're not just over there with their hands in the pockets, that's for sure. So, you know, but that's part of it, man. That's the chess match of coaches. That's the, you know, that for me as a former player, you know, that's the thing that drove me. You know, I'm going to play harder. I'm going to, you know, make more plays than you going to make, you know. And so, but, you know, you go back and you watch film and you look and you learn and, you know, hey, we could do this better. Hey, we got to do that better, you know. And that's what you do. You know, you go back, you evaluate, you self-evaluate, you know, you reflect and you move forward and you get better. You know, that's part of it. So, you know, I watched Saturday, you know, I enjoyed Saturday. I was on the couch with Deuce watching football pretty much all day Saturday and Saturday night. Looked good, you know. I was proud of Snoop, man. He looked good, and I thought he scored twice myself. I thought he scored on the one they reviewed. I thought he was in, but obviously he wasn't. But I told Deuce, I said, I know what's going to happen next time he gets it down there. I said, I bet you he get in because I know the kid. But it was fun watching that game and flipping back and forth and watching some of the other games. And, of course, you know, so it was a good night for college football. But, you know, even watching those guys that are for all intents and purposes, adults, they make mistakes.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
you know,
no doubt.
they give up plays in the passing game. And those college coaches make a lot more than I do. I'm like, wow, you know, sometimes, you know, they don't even make the right call. It's just part of it, man. And, of course, Sundays you watch a little NFL and you see the same thing.
Those guys are adults.
They are adults and they are professionals, you know. And, you know, so it's just part of it, man. But I think that's the thing that makes, you know, football and sports in general so much fun. You never know. You just got to go play. Yeah.
So I wasn't planning on asking you this, but we mentioned the Ole Miss game, and I have to know, Coach, as a coach, how much did it warm your heart to see that kid for Ole Miss chase that Kentucky player down and catch him inside the
I
five?
thought that was huge. You know, the guy celebrating, throwing up the deuces, and he gets tackled right there. And I'm like, you know, that's why you don't celebrate until after you score.
And then the next play or the 2 plays later maybe ended up getting a turnover there.
So, I mean, but that's as a coach, that's what you preach to your kids. Don't ever give up. Tackle him, give us a chance to line up and play another play. You know, so that's what you always want to preach to your kids defensively. Just get him down. Get him down. Okay, how you get him down? Get him down. Give our defense a chance to line up and play the next play. You know, as an offensive coach, hey, you better not be celebrating until you get in the end zone, and I'll be one to celebrate with you. But so great lessons from that right there. I saw a few people on social media. I think Tyreek Hill was one of them that said something on, I think it was Twitter or something, like chunking up the deuces before you get in the end zone, and something about the end zone said no or something. I thought it was pretty funny, but yeah, you got to play, man. But you know, those plays right there remind me of a few guys I've coached over the years that left it out on the field, laid it all out there, and you know, chased the guy down, got him down, and you see it time and time again as a coach. Yeah, they break a long run, somebody give extra effort, get a guy down, then 2-3 plays later they either fumble, turn it over, or don't score, and it's difference in the game.
Yeah, it's a momentum killer all in one game, in one play. You know, they get momentum, they break the long run. For those of you who didn't watch the Ole Miss game, Kentucky broke a long run early in the game. He starts the running back starts to celebrate, throws up the deuces.
Quarterback, I think it was.
The quarterback starts to celebrate. Ja'Cory Hawkins for Ole Miss ends up chasing him down inside the 5-yard line, and a play or two later, they're on the goal line and they fumble. Ole Miss recovers and goes back down the other way, and so, you know, that's a huge momentum shift all in one play. They're excited, and then they're not, and then Ole Miss gets the ball and just shifts the whole thing. And you're right, it was just an effort play, and that's huge for a team. And I just figured that was one of those things that you saw as a coach and were like, that's it.
It brought back memories, you know, 2011 state championship game. We throw an interception, and Cameron Myers is the farthest guy away from the DB that intercepts the ball, and he runs down, and you watch film, Cam just runs all the way from it. He's got the least, he's probably got the least chance to tackle the guy. And he runs him down and tackles him inside the 10. It's in the state championship game. And 4 plays later, we stop them, we get the ball, we go on and score, and, you know, we never look back. We end up winning the state championship 34-8. You know, but so I think about plays like that, just effort plays, man, just effort plays. And I'm telling you, those plays as a coach live with you. You don't forget those, man, just great effort plays. Yep.
They can get a whole team going. I mean, you see effort from that guy, and then maybe you run the next time.
It's contagious, man. It's contagious. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Now, you mentioned going back to this week's game. We got off on that, but we'll call that our chalk talk for this week. But going off on earlier, you were talking about Picayune and not giving them 8 yards on first down because, you know, I think when you do that and you give them 2nd and 2, that's when they're going to try to pop you over the top. That's when they're going to take that chance to throw a pass. And so, you know, you want to keep them backed up and put them in a position where they have to throw, not a position where they want to throw.
Right. I agree with you. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So that's when you said that kind of brought that to my mind that, hey, they don't throw it much, but if you give them, you know, 2nd 1, 2nd 2, that gives them a free play to kind of pop you over the top. And so that's one of those things that the Tigers have to look at going forward. Coach, game right now, we do have the Storm coming in. The game right now is scheduled for 7 o'clock at Lee Triplett Stadium there in Picayune. Can that change?
I think there's a possibility. I've been in constant contact with the athletic director there. We spoke yesterday, spoke again this morning. I'll speak with him again in the morning, you know. But as of right now, you know, we're scheduled to play Friday, 7 p.m. You know, the last information I got from him was, you know, if it is rescheduled, they were looking at Saturday at 7 p.m. So hopefully we'll get to play Friday. If it changes, we'll try to use our media outlets and, you know, social media outlets as well to try to get the information out to everyone if the game does indeed change. But as of right now, it's still scheduled for Friday, 7 p.m.
Yeah, so stay connected with Hattiesburg High School Athletics pages on Facebook and Twitter. Hattiesburg High School page, Coach Vance and me and whoever. We'll get that information out to you if it changes. I know you guys have seen a lot of teams change their games, and a lot of them bumping up to Thursday and that kind of thing. So I figured people had questions, so I wanted to make sure that we put that out there. But as of right now, still scheduled for Friday at 7 in Picayune. Can you talk about tickets?
Yeah, tickets will be on sale at Picayune.
Okay.
We didn't have any tickets for sale this week, so you'll have to purchase your ticket at Picayune. They said they're going to have 600 tickets available on the visitor side, so you have to purchase them at the gate.
At the gate, okay.
At Picayune Friday night.
So if those 600 run out, you just
just maybe go over to the home side and buy one.
Okay. Well, if we take 600 people down there, we'll be doing all right.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
So, but yeah, so purchase tickets at the gate there at Picayune. They've got 600, and I bet if you bring some money to the gate, they're gonna let you in. So, so that's the deal. But Friday night at 7. I do want to tell you, if you can't make it down there, we'll have the game live on HattiesburgTigers.com. You can go to HattiesburgTigers.com/plans. You do a single game for less than the price of a ticket, $6.99. You can do a month pass for $24.99, or the rest of the season there for $69.99. Also want to tell you about our sponsors. I want to thank our sponsors. Got it right here. We've got Hattiesburg Coca-Cola, City of Hattiesburg, the First Bank, Forest County Board of Supervisors, the First, the National Banking Association, Forest General Hospital, Southern Bone and Joint, Walk-Ons, Ab Pain Companies, Havard Pest Control, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Southeast Mississippi Rural Health Initiative, Walt Massey Chevrolet, the Church at 4 Points. These are our pregame sponsors. Church at 4 Points, Parkway Heights United Methodist Church, Hardy Street Baptist Church, West Point Baptist Church, and Sweet Pilgrim Baptist Church. We appreciate all of your sponsors, and just because, you know, we're halfway through football season here doesn't mean you can't still sponsor. We've got other sports. Coach Vance talked about winter sports about to start up. Those guys need sponsors too. So if you want to sponsor, get it with Hattiesburg High School, get with the Booster Club, Myron Lott, get with Coach Vance here. We can always use sponsors for Hattiesburg Athletics to keep those things rolling the way that they do. I want to thank the coaches, players, sponsors. I want to thank Walk-Ons for being so good to us here. I want to invite people to join us here 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights for Tiger Talk here at Walk-Ons every Tuesday night.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just telling you, if you've never been here on Saturday to watch college football, you're missing a great experience. I'm telling you, they've probably got, I don't know how many TVs in this place, but
it's a lot.
They've got games, all the games on normally on Saturdays. I'm going to tell you, this is a great place to come watch college football on Saturdays. And, you know, if you hadn't tried the fried pickles, man, they're pretty good too. So
they've got 20. They've got 20. I'm counting. They've got 20 TVs just around the bar, just in the circle here around the bar.
They probably got 75 TVs in this place, man.
Yeah.
But it's my great place to watch college football on Saturday. It's definitely my favorite place.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch college football out somewhere, it's definitely my favorite place to come watch college football.
I mean, they've got TVs stuck in every corner, like in every corner of the. I've never even noticed all the TVs in here. Honestly,
man.
I mean,
I want to say it's like 75 or something. They told me one time, but it's an amazing place to come watch college football on Saturdays, and I'm sure it's pretty good on Sunday too.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they can turn every game on in here and have them on multiple TVs, and the food's not bad either, Coach.
The food's really good.
The food is fantastic. I mean, that's one of the things that we look forward to every week is the food after the show.
Yeah.
So. It's been really good, and so we can't thank Walk-Ons enough. They called us and were like, "Hey, y'all gonna do the show again here this year?" And we said, "Man, yeah, if y'all have us, we're coming." So
been awesome.
They have. So I want to thank all those guys. I want to invite you again every week, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. We got Coach Vance here. I want to tell you can watch the game, HattiesburgTigers.com. We told you that. You can also listen on the radio, 92.7 The Score, or on the WMXI app on your phone. Coach, final thoughts?
Man, just looking forward to this week's ball game and getting an opportunity to play. You know, I know some other schools around had to cancel some games this week due to COVID, and I remind people all the time, we're just fortunate to be playing, man, and I'm so thankful that we get the opportunity to go out and play each and every week, and I don't want to ever lose sight of how fortunate we are that we do get the opportunity to play, you know, win, lose, or draw. Obviously, we want to win, but at the end of the day, man, these are high school kids that's getting the opportunity to play. A lot of them, they're senior seasons, and, you know, we're fortunate as coaches, we get the opportunity to coach them. So, you know, I don't ever want to lose sight of that and just say how grateful and thankful we are that we do get the opportunity.
Even more, you know, that's every year, but even more this year because it was about this close to not even happening.
Exactly.
So.
You know, people ask me all the time, I didn't even order shirts because I didn't even know we were going to have a season.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of things we normally do, we didn't get the opportunity to do this year. But we're getting to play football.
We're getting to play football. It's going to get better. It's getting better. And hopefully we're getting closer to being back to normal. So for John Arnder, for Mike Peterson, myself, Coach Vance, we appreciate you being with us. And I want to say good night.
Go Tigers.